Okay, what a pleasure it is to be here at Cribs Causeway today. And no need to introduce. Well, I will introduce anyway. I've got the one and only Miss Alesha Dixon
Hello.
in Bristol with us. How are you?
Hi guys, very well, thank you.
Excellent.
Really good.
I'll let you tell us the reason why you're here today.
Well, I'm here today to perform for Best Buy. We had the pleasure of opening the store in Hayes, and so this is our second trip to Best Buy, and it's great. I mean, we're here to enjoy the day. It's going to be a lovely show, going to be some other acts apart from myself performing, and yeah, it's just going to be a fun day out for everybody.
It's been a hell of a journey for you, musically, your entertainment career, your media career, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
I like to say from mis-teeq to the entertainer.
Yes.
I'm allowed to.
Yeah.
Now, what's the journey been like?
The journey's been good. It's been a roller coaster, and there's been ups and downs, but actually throughout all of it I've had a fantastic time, and I definitely feel very blessed to have a job that I really love. And from the age of 18, when I first started out singing, and I had no money for 4 or 5 years where we were trying to hustle our way into the industry, from 18 to now at 32, it's been a fantastic ride, and I wouldn't change any of it. Even the moments where I've felt concerned or things haven't quite gone my way, I look back at those times and I think that's where the biggest growth has taken place. And I just feel very lucky that, you know, through music I've been able to see the world, and I've been able to do lots of exciting things, and I have no regrets at all.
Part of these exciting things we're talking about, some of the stuff you've done some really fantastic documentaries about some social issues that touch you. Talk to me through them, the process. What was the inspiration behind it all?
I guess for me, I don't like to get involved in anything unless it's got real kind of substance to it and meaning, and every decision I make is usually based on whether it's something I'm passionate about or care about. And I think I wouldn't say the older I've got, but definitely the older I've got in the industry, you suddenly realise that you've been given this platform, and as much as celebrities complain about the negative things that come with being famous in terms of media and press intrusion, you also have to look at it as a positive thing, that you can actually bring awareness and shed some light on areas that need some loving care. And I guess the area of domestic violence specifically is a really taboo subject, and I believe that I could make a documentary that really brought it to the forefront and made people talk about it and raised awareness, and hopefully was helpful to people that are suffering. And I just guess I've got that part in me that just cares, because I've lived real life, you know, and when you've lived real life you have empathy and compassion for people in different walks of life and different situations, and I think I can use my fame to help people or just raise awareness, really. Everyone can do their little bit. And I think going forward, I'd like to continue doing documentaries covering different social issues. It's satisfying. It makes what I do worthwhile. I can sleep better at night, you know, because being a musician and being an artist is quite a selfish job. And it's wonderful, don't get me wrong, but at some point you want to give back. You want to do things that are bigger than what you are.
Are you feeling fulfilled about what you've been giving back so far, especially with the areas you're touching, the issues that you're touching?
I would say so, but also not content in that the problems aren't solved. So with the documentary, for example, afterwards I felt frustrated that was the end. It was kind of like, okay, the documentary's been on TV, people have reacted to it, but it's not enough. Like, I feel that it has to be a continuing campaign, and I want to continue to be involved in it. I want to do a part 2 to the last documentary to show the work that people do around the country. Well, it's definitely something that it's in my mindset, and it's something I'm going to talk about and try and push forward, whether it happens this year or next year. I believe that everything that people do that for other people has to be ongoing. Like, these issues don't get solved overnight, and it doesn't matter what walk of life you're from or where you live in the world, there's always some issue that faces us as human beings. And it's a continuing thing, isn't it?
A lot of people will watch this today and think Alesha Dixon, she's so lucky to be where she is, and so on and so forth. Not thinking about the hard work you've been through, and it's been a journey for you, hasn't it? Do you think is it a good thing to be famous?
It's a good thing to be famous. I am very lucky, and there probably isn't a day that doesn't go by where I'm appreciative for the position that I'm in. But it is hard work with anything, and my advice to people is always, just doesn't matter whether it's the music industry, whether it's, you know, you're an accountant, whether you're a nurse, whatever your job is, as long as you have a passion for it, and you're prepared to work hard, then there's sacrifices that come with that. And actually, there's no reward if you don't put the work in. And I think I've never been scared of hard work, and I've never had anything handed to me on a plate, and I never went into it thinking that it was all the doors were going to fly open and it would be a walk in the park, because it wasn't. But as I said to you earlier, I wouldn't change that, because actually the journey, the process to get into somewhere is the rewarding part. To lay all those foundations, to have the ups, to have the downs, and then to realise that with your mindset and your attitude that you can actually make things happen for yourself. So I would just say to anybody, it's not necessarily the fame side of things that I focus on. It's really more about creative choices, having a passion and a love, appreciation, and not being afraid to work hard.
Let's talk about the entertainer.
Okay.
Tell me about it. Who have you co-hosted with? New producers, new songwriters. Have you written some songs yourself?
Yes, I worked with some fantastic producers on The Entertainer. I was very lucky. I got to work. Do you know what? To be honest, touch wood if there was any.
Oh, I didn't know my
only
head was so
joking.
high. That's okay.
I've worked with some fantastic producers and writers, and it's quite intimidating. You walk into these studios and you see the Beyonce plaques and the Michael Jackson plaques, and you're like, you do feel intimidated, but you think, you just have to be yourself. You have to bring something to the table. You have to have something to say, and you have to have a story to tell. And when I worked with Toby Gadd, who produced Beyonce, If I Were a Boy, one of the first tracks I wrote for The Entertainer was a song called Cool With Me, which really summed up just the way I feel right now. And the first line is, I'm finally up and I'm strong on my feet, been through the war, now nothing rocks me easily. And it's kind of like very poignant to my life. And then I talk about in the chorus that, I've got my superpowers out and I'm finally in a place where I'm happy in my own skin and I'm cool with me. And I think for everyone, it's really about just getting to that place where it's like you're happy with who you are and what you bring to this world. And songwriting is a beautiful way to express how you feel and what you're going through. And working with certain producers like Toby Gadd and Red Zone, Coot Carell, they draw it out of you. When you work with people that are so talented and gifted, they draw it out of you, and it's a really beautiful process to go through.
Is it an album you're very proud of?
Very proud. I mean, I don't listen to it often. I mean, when the album was finished, I would listen to it, and it was only 2 days ago when I was in my car for the first time in a long time, I played one of the tracks, Cool With Me, and I thought, yeah, it still sounds really fat. And I love to look back and think, wow, that's what we created. But it's always about moving forward. Like, once you've written an album, even though the audience is still listening to it, you're thinking about the next album. You're living life in preparation for the next record, because it's really, for me, I'm not one of these artists that turns up in the studio and says, right, what do you want me to sing? I really go in and want to say something. So in order to do that as an artist, you've got to get out there and live as well.
The album is out now.
It's out now.
Yes. You can buy it out there if you're listening.
Yes.
Let's talk about today. What are you going to be doing? What are you going to be doing today?
Today I'm going to be talking to lovely people like you. I'm going to be meeting some lovely fans. I'm going to go and do some photographs in and around the store, and I'm going to be performing, I think, about 5 songs today. So hopefully the sun will stay out and the audience will have a really nice time.
It's all about Best Buy, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we're all, are you into your technology?
Absolutely. I'm an Android kid.
I mean, it's a sign of the times, isn't it? Yeah. I think we're definitely part of a generation that's seen technology just go from here to here in a very short space of time, and Best Buy kind of celebrates that, doesn't it?
I think we're lucky.
We are very lucky.
What's your latest gizmo?
Probably in my iPad.
Is it?
It goes everywhere with me. I think it's fantastic. It's one of those things, I'm like, how did life work before it? Because it just is so practical.
Yes,
on the road, you can, it's just brilliant, everything you can do with it.
I was saying to a friend, I remember when, back home in Nigeria, for instance, where you have to wait for a letter to come in like 3 months' time from England, because people are waiting to hear. Now it's just straight away. You just ring up, so it's amazing.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Alesha Dixon, we hope you have a really good time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And,
nice to see you.
Hopefully, see you again.
Thank you. Bye.